All right, now, first and foremost, all thanks and praises unto our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Wabrakakwadash. Peace, blessings, much respect to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, on down to the rest of the elders who rule well within Israel. Salutations to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where, whom they may be, or what they may look like, pushing out this purified truth to the rest of the church who believe as well. You men who may not be teachers or prophets, you women, sons and daughters also. And the water to Yahweh Shai, because without him enduring and going to that cross and enduring for the nation of Israel and the nation of Israel alone, none of this would even be possible whatsoever. Okay, now I'm going to start this lesson off in the book of Luke, chapter 10 and verse 2. And this is what it reads. Therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he would send forth laborers into his harvest. So this ministry is a gigantic work, but only few men compared to the majority. To the majority, it's a very few men that actually come into this and labor, that actually come into this and put that work in and hold on and endure until the end. This is a very, very great work. And seeing that it's a great work, it's always nice when men wake up to this ministry and start doing this work. It's even more better when men wake up coming to this truth and they hold on and they keep holding on. And then they still hold on, and then they keep holding on, right? Because being in this ministry, you have to endure. This isn't the type of job where you treat it like McDonald's. You get fed up one day and you just decide to walk out and you'll have another job lined up for you somewhere else. Well, in this ministry, once you come in, you can't just say, you know what, I'm going to exit, I'm going to leave, and think you're going to have some spot on a chariot somewhere else, okay? Therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. So many are called, but only few are chosen. The few that are chosen are going to be laboring in this ministry. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he would send forth laborers into his harvest. So the Lord is constantly sending men into this harvest to labor. But when you compare that to the majority of men within Israel, it's a very, very small number. But yet it's a very, very, very difficult and great duty that we are doing. So if you're a man in this ministry who's doing the work, our job is to keep hope. And not only keep hope, but to help others keep hope. Okay? There's a lot of men in Israel, they may feel like, you know, I would like to do what you're doing. I would like to be a teacher, a prophet, an elder, or a bishop, right? And there's nothing wrong with desiring these things. But with desiring these things, you have to come into it with the mentality of it's until death or deliverance. This isn't something that's a fad that's going to fade away. And then, you know, it's a trendy topic in your life. And then one day it's just not you no more. You know, if you come into this ministry and your mentality isn't to hold on until the end, you are in grave danger. Great, grave danger. All right. Let's touch on 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. This is a true saying. If a man desired the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work. So what is a bishop? A bishop is an overseer, an elder and an overseer of a church or a temple. A bishop will spend a lot of time in the church. So if you were a bishop, you wouldn't have time to be trying to multiply wives. You wouldn't have time for a lot of things because you would be too busy constantly overseeing the church. Now, that word bishop, you could also put the word prophet, teacher. If you're someone who desires to be a bishop, a prophet, a teacher, right? That's a good work. But this isn't the type of work that you come into and then get frustrated and say, I can't finish. And then you move on. This is the type of work. Not only is it a good work and a great work, this is an enduring work. Okay? So there's a lot of men who may watch our videos and they may feel, I feel I could be teaching. I feel like I could be out there doing this work, which is beautiful. That's a good thing to think on. But you have to understand, in this ministry, this is the one thing in your life that you cannot quit on, because the consequences, it would be totally severe for any of us. All right? Let's go to Romans chapter 14 and verse 5. One man esteemeth one day above another, another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. So you have to be fully persuaded in your own mind. There are a lot of doubtful people in this world. The majority of people are not going to believe this message. A lot of people in this world, the majority at least, are going to, treat this truth with no value, no importance. And you being a laborer, that could make your labor feel that much more vexing, afflicting, to be ignored, to not really be, what's the word? I don't want to say effective, but it may feel like at times you're not being effective. Okay? And in this world, in this society, a lot of people, when they feel like they're not being effective in something, they give up on it and they move to something else. In this ministry, we have to be fully persuaded in our own mind. Because again, the harvest is great, but the laborers are few. So that shows you there's a lot of work to be done. And there's a lot of men who desire to do what we're doing. But that's good and all. But if that's your mind state, you need to be fully persuaded in your own mind that once you pick up the plow, you cannot turn back. Okay? Once you pick up the plow, you got to keep hitting these people with this truth. You can't go a whole 2 weeks. You ain't done no videos, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, being a month, and so forth. You ain't doing no videos, and then one day you decide, okay, I'm going to do a video today. That's not how it works in this truth. Just like certain people who call themselves YouTubers, they'll do a video every now and again and have 100,000 subscribers. And they'll do a video once every week and a half. Well, in this ministry, we do videos as much as we can. If we can, we'll do videos every day. Okay? Because the sheep constantly have to be fed. Just like when you eat food, it's a daily thing for the most part, right? So this ministry, doing this work, is a daily thing. And part of doing the work isn't just doing videos and then going back to the world once your video's over. The truth doesn't stop when the video stops. Our conduct, how we live, all these things matter. And if you're persuaded in your own mind, it's going to show in your conduct. It's going to show in your works. Okay? And we have to understand that if no one else believes, as long as we believe, okay, that's being fully persuaded in your own mind. You may have a man in this ministry, you look up to him, but let's say he falls out one day. Now do you feel like, well, shoot, I could have swore he was a man of the Lord, but shit, he didn't fell out the truth. Now I feel like I'm not interested in this no more. Hell no. You got to be fully persuaded in your mind. Zechariah chapter 9 and verse 12. Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. So a part of our job being in this ministry is to give hope to our people. Because without hope, you're hopeless. Okay? We have expectations. We have things to look forward to. We have things that inspire us, that keep us going. And we want our people, of the elect anyway, which we don't know who that is up front. We got an idea, but we're hoping for the elect of our people to keep that hope. Okay? Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. So the point being, we are prisoners of hope. The elect are prisoners of hope. And seeing that we are prisoners of hope, a lot of men in this ministry may not have that same level of hope or that same level of faith. So seeing that there's a lot of labor to be done, a part of our job is to not only build up ourselves, but it's also to build up others around us. So if you desire to be a prophet, a bishop, you desire to be a servant of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that is a good work, but you have to be fully persuaded and know this is an ongoing thing. Some may come into this ministry and think in their mind, well, shoot, I'll be delivered within 3 months. We at the end. Then a year goes by, 2 years go by, 4 years go by, 7 years go by, 8 years go by, and you find yourself still in captivity. Okay, if you have a weak mind, if you're not, if you're not built up in the faith, if you're not persuaded in your own mind, if you're a double-minded man, that could make you say, you know what, this ain't for me. I thought this was for me, but it's not for me. Well, the Lord's not going to let you creep off into darkness and get away with that. Okay? This is a very, very serious task. Romans 14:1, him that is weak in faith, receive ye, but not to doubtful disputations. So those that are weak in the faith, we are to build them up, to help build them up. Because what are we doing right now in the faith, or through the Spirit in this faith? We're building up the house of David. Spiritually, we're building up the third temple. Okay? And a part of building up the third temple is to help others build up their faith, those of the elect. Okay? 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 22. To the weak became I as weak. So not everybody's faith is as strong as others. Okay? In the 12, taking away Judas, right? But in the 12, you had Thomas. Now it came to a point where Thomas actually doubted that Yahweh Shai had appeared again, right? He didn't believe it, but he was still of the 12. There are men in this truth, their faith may not be strong as others, but the importance of the brotherhood, the importance of this labor is to keep those in this faith built up who may have smaller faith than you or I. That's a part of the labor. One hand washes the other. Iron sharpens iron. So to those in this ministry who are weaker than us, our hope is to also help build you up while also building up ourselves through the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. So that's how we are to be in this truth. We have to be weak to those who are weaker faith, who have weaker faith than us. If someone who believes but their faith is smaller, it shouldn't be, in our spirit to bash them for that. Okay, it shouldn't be in our spirit to make them feel less than because their faith isn't as potent as yours or another brother. It's our duty to help each other. Okay? The love that we have for each other is going to show whether or not we are of Yahweh Shai. Okay? Let's go to, what scripture is that? What scripture is that? It's at Hebrews. I'm going to go to the book of Hebrews chapter 10. Okay, yeah, this is Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 22. Let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith. So we have to have full assurance in this ministry. We have to be fully persuaded in our own mind, desiring to be a bishop, desiring to be a prophet, a teacher, an elder, whatever, right? That's good. But you have to understand this is a laborious task. And you can't be the type of person to disappear then reappear, disappear then reappear. This is an ongoing job, man. There is no retirement plan until Yahweh Shai comes and delivers us, or, our bodies, our earthly bodies, perish. Let us draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. And what's that pure water? This truth. Okay? This truth is that pure water. Verse 33, partly whilst ye were made a gazing stock, both by reproaches and afflictions, and partly whilst ye became companions of them that were so used. So we go through a lot being in this ministry, but that's okay because we have full assurance of our faith through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. For ye had compassion of me and my bonds, and took joyfully the spoiling of your goods, knowing in yourselves that ye have in heaven a better and enduring substance. So we go through an innumerable amount of things, but if we have hope and faith, it's because we understand that there is a reward for this. We're not just doing this just to do it. We're not just doing this because it's a trend. It's hot right now. It's the hot topic. Okay? Verse 35. Cast not away, therefore, your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward. So we have to have the mentality of keeping our confidence and being persuaded in our own mind. Having that full assurance. Okay? Anyone on the sideline, you want to be a teacher, as I've stated before, you want to be a prophet, don't lose hope. And you have to be fully assured that this ministry is the truth, because the last thing, matter of fact, not even the last thing, what you don't want to do is come into this ministry and fall away. Okay? Because a lot of rejection comes to those who are laboring, and not everybody is built for that, especially if you may be teaching by yourself. It may help a little bit if you have brothers around you, right? But what if you have to teach by yourself and you're being rejected, right? You're looked at as a gazing stock. Could you handle that? And these things aren't to scare those who may have the desire to want to be a teacher. It's to look out for you so that you don't trap yourself in something that was far greater than what you expected. In this ministry, we can't bite off more than we can chew. Okay? Because a lot of people are going to make light of this ministry. There's really no honor for a prophet right now. So we have to have the mentality of being persuaded in our own mind. And not only that, building up others who may not have as strong as faith as we do. And we understand that according to James, faith without works is dead. And part of the work, again, isn't just doing these videos and going to the streets. It's our conduct. It's how we treat each other. It's how we act as brothers towards each other. So, reading verse 36, for ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of the power, ye might receive the promise. For yet a little while, and he that shall come will come and will not tarry. Now the just shall live by faith, but if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. So if you come into this ministry, you have to understand, if you ever turn back, it's over. Okay? Desiring to want to do what we're doing is good. That's a beautiful thing. In fact, all of us who are teaching, once we were enlightened by the word, I'm sure it was in all of us to feel like, we could be teachers. When I first came into the truth, it wasn't in my spirit to go out there and teach, but it was always in my spirit that I could do something like this, because back in the world, I was told when I was a little boy that I would be a prophet and I would lead many to the Messiah. Okay? And I can't remember if it was told to me directly or if it was told to my mother. Right? But being in the world, that kind of faded out. I didn't really ponder on it too much, but it was always in the back of my mind that what if I was a teacher or a preacher? But what I had in mind was what you see in these church buildings. Then as I gotten older and I kind of, strayed away from church more, I kind of would think about every now and again, like, what if I'd be a man of God? Or, these things would cross my mind, but I never really bit down until I was enlightened to this ministry. And when I first was enlightened, it still wasn't in me to go out and teach. It took a small moment before it actually hit me, like I need to get out there and teach. There wasn't nobody, in my city that was doing this. So when I went out to teach, I basically just threw myself out there. And here I am now. So seeing that I've been doing this since I've started and I haven't turned back yet, thank you, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and I hope I never do. It was always in my mind, like, this is it. Like this is pretty much what I do. This is who I am. This is what I'm built to do. Dealt with a lot of rejection, a lot of being ignored, a lot of scoffers, a lot of shit talkers, a lot of people gazing at you. Okay? But the Lord still has me in this ministry. And we cannot draw back. But we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul. So we do this not only for ourselves, but to help build up those who believe as well. And this is an ongoing labor. And we cannot draw back. So Lord willing, this lesson, it was simple and it was edifying. All thanks and praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Wa Rakak Wadash. Shalom.